All right, so after all the suburbs today, I want to take you to a very different part of town. We are back on Lake Michigan on the South Shore. Behind me you can see downtown Milwaukee, and today we're going to take a look at Bayview. Bayview is very artsy, some might call it even eclectic. It is definitely trending. The nightlife is great here. There's a lot of bars, a lot of restaurants that have opened in recent years. So we've got a lot of ground to cover. Let's get started right now. One of the best things about Milwaukee is that we have such a variety of totally different neighborhoods. So after showing you some of the suburbs last week, the obvious choice for the next video was definitely Bayview. It is such a different side of Milwaukee and it stands out uniquely in so many ways. So whether you love it or you're not a huge fan, either way, it is totally worth the look. But before we get into it, let me jump over to a map so you know where we are. Quick orientation, so we have Bayview here, very centrally located in the Milwaukee metro area. We have downtown Milwaukee right here. This is the Milwaukee Harbor, and this is the Milwaukee Bay on Lake Michigan. Also very important down here, we have Milwaukee's airport, General Mitchell International Airport. So let me zoom in here and show you some of the details. Most importantly, we have here running straight through the middle Kinnickinnick Avenue. This is the main strip here with all the bars, restaurants, and retail. So you'll hear me referencing Kinnickinnick Avenue several times in the video. And this is what is called the South Shore with a lot of parks and lake access. So the location here, very central to downtown, close to the airport and right on the shore of Lake Michigan. I'm sure all these things play a part in Bayview's popularity. Bayview is one of the oldest parts of Milwaukee. Bayview's history starts in 1834, only 12 short years after the first log cabin was built in the woods in what is known today as Milwaukee. Fishing and trade were the early sources of income until 1868. The Milwaukee Iron Company opened the steel rolling mill in Bayview to produce rails for the railroad expansion and brought in lots of workers who settled close by and built the famous ironworker houses, some of them still around today. Just over 20 years later, Bayview had grown a lot, and in 1887 residents voted to become part of Milwaukee and with that gain access to Milwaukee's sewer system, streetlights, sidewalks and other infrastructure. I believe this must still be an ongoing debate because Bayview features one of the worst sidewalks I've seen around here, with broken concrete and weeds growing through the cracks, courtesy of the frost we have here every winter. By the way, if you want to see how bad winter in Milwaukee really is, you will find a video about that on my channel, along with lots of other useful information if you're thinking about moving to Milwaukee. One of the things that I really like about Bayview is you have a ton of parks. Some of them are right on Lake Michigan, and you can go for a bike ride, take your dog for a walk like these guys behind me, or just make your way down to Lake Michigan. Yeah, I have to say, it's really hard to beat this. Just being on a beach and just hanging out here for a little while, it is just so relaxing. And I don't know if you can see behind me the skyline of Milwaukee. I mean, look at this. This is just crazy. I love that beach down here. I mean, sure, you have Bradford Beach up in Milwaukee, and there's a ton of people there even during the week, playing volleyball, playing soccer, so there's always a lot going on here. But this gotta be my favorite beach down here. I mean, granted, it's a weekday, it's a Wednesday afternoon, and there is nobody here. There's one person paddleboarding out there, which is fantastic because you're inside of the breakwater, so there's almost no waves here. And there's nobody here. This is just great. Sorry, I'm digressing. Let's get back to Bayview. Today, Bayview is very young and trendy, and it has a fantastic dining and bar scene. So even if you live somewhere else in Milwaukee, you will find yourself here sooner or later sipping a craft cocktail with friends, probably followed by a great dinner just around the corner. The restaurant scene is global and very diverse, just like the residents tend to be. Kinnickinnick Avenue is the main strip. Within a short walk, you can pick your choice of different food worlds, from Cafe India to the Hungry Sumo, from Vietnamese to Latin America, or Belgian treats or classic Italian food, all the way from low-key to really fine dining. Of course, I had to do this. There was just no way around. Kinnickinnick is also home to a number of really unique retail stores. You can find here anything from comic books to top shelf guitars, from a classic hat store to vinyl records. And if you want to get a tattoo, that's no problem on Kinnickinnick. And if you want to get it removed, you can get that done here as well, just a few steps down the road. Right here at the Removery. Of course, one of the main attractions of living in Bayview is Lake Michigan, especially in the summer. And fortunately, there are many opportunities for public lake access through parks and beaches. South Shore Park, for example, is home to the South Shore Yacht Club, which is open to the public and accepts new members. So if you're interested in boating, I would definitely swing by for a chat. They are very inclusive, and as you can read on their website, a growing number of members do not even own their own boat, and they just enjoy being part of the scene. Hey, by the way, a lot of people are reaching out to me after seeing one of my videos with all sorts of questions about Milwaukee. So if you're thinking about moving to Milwaukee and you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. You can email me, you can text me, you can give me a call, whatever works best for you. I love answering questions about Milwaukee. That's why I'm making all these videos. Let's talk about kids and families. A lot of locals will tell you that Bayview is actually quite family friendly. But when you look at the school ratings, you can see that public schools are probably not the main reason for people to move here. According to niche.com, most public schools have only a C rating, but on the other hand, some of the private and charter schools have excellent ratings. Bayview is a relatively small community. Only 15,000 people live here compared to the 1.6 million people in the Milwaukee metro area. On average, the population is very educated. Twice as many people have a bachelor degree here compared to the average. And they're also younger. 75% are below 55, and many are in the 30s and 40s. Bayview has also a very strong renter market with almost 50% of the population renting. So if you want to try it for a year, there are plenty of options to rent a duplex, a small single-family home, or even a luxury new construction apartment. So you've probably heard me say this before, Milwaukee is really reinventing itself, and Bayview is no exception. So here behind me you see an old industrial building, and when you look over there, it's already a cool bar and brewery and distillery. And when you turn all the way around, there's a brand new 5-star apartment building going up here. Next, let's talk about housing inventory. Most properties in Bayview are single-family homes, and they are relatively affordable. The median price is at about $241,000 currently, but with a relatively wide range from just around $100,000 to well over $500,000. The reason for this wide range can be found in the condition of the houses. Some of them are in very poor repair, possibly even beyond the point of saving if they have really bad bones. Other houses have been completely updated to almost new construction standards, and of course they will also sell for top dollar. The popularity of Bayview makes it also an ideal market for house flippers, because well-done flips have a huge upside. But with some of the old Bayview houses, you really have to know what you are doing. As many of my subscribers know, I have a background in real estate investing and flipping, so if you want to know how much it would take for a certain project to complete, I can usually give you a pretty good ballpark idea. A lot of the housing inventory in Bayview was built in the 1920s and is in need of some serious updating, but not the one that you see behind me. That's totally updated inside and outside. And guess what? it's currently also for sale. Bayview has also a good number of two-family homes, or duplexes as we call them here. $250,000 to $350,000 is usually a good budget for a property in decent repair. And house hacking is a very popular strategy here because rents are also very high in Bayview, and that allows the owner to offset most of the monthly housing expenses with rental income generated from the second unit. So if you're interested in the concept of house hacking and you want to learn more about how to live for free, or I should say almost for free, you will find a series of how-to videos on my YouTube channel. So one of the things that are so cool about Bayview is you have a lot of these traditional 1920s buildings, and then you keep on walking here on the lakefront, and then you spot something like this. If you can see it back there, somebody built himself a really nice pad right on the water. So we discussed a lot of the positive things about Bayview, but what are some of the downsides of living here? Well, the first thing that you will notice when you get here is that some of the streets in Bayview definitely look a little bit rougher. And while Bayview is trending and that keeps bringing in more money, there is still a lot of construction left to be done, both on individual houses as well as on public roads and sidewalks, as we've mentioned earlier. Another issue is the proximity to the airport. So it is nice if you fly a lot, or even if you work there, as some of my recent buyers, but that also means that you have to get used to engine noise from low-flying commercial airliners at pretty much most hours of the day. It seems to me that most locals don't really notice it that much, but when you get here the first time, you will definitely find yourself looking up in the sky quite a bit. A lot of home buyers and especially real estate investors always ask me where are the up-and-coming neighborhoods in Milwaukee, and I usually tell them Milwaukee neighborhoods are just very slow in changing, and therefore Milwaukee is a very stable market. It's very predictable. We don't see rapid changes here in neighborhoods. Bayview, on the other hand, might be one of the few exceptions to this because it is up and coming and it continues to draw a lot of young and very ambitious people in, and they are definitely working on making Bayview one of the most interesting neighborhoods in Milwaukee. Alright, so I'm ending the day on the South Shore, actually in South Shore Park, and you can see, well, the park's here behind me. On the other side we have the marina. I'll get out of the way, and you can see back there the Milwaukee skyline. And ahead of me is the South Shore Terrace, and I'm getting really hungry. I can't really see it from here, but I can already smell it, and it smells freaking good. So let's go check it out. So my wife decided to join me, and we had a really nice night at the Terrace. Unfortunately, there is no video footage available of me having barbecue sauce all over my face. That's all I had for you on Bayview. I'll see you at the next one.